everybody. Welcome in to Bayou Time. I'm Harry McCullough. We're joined today with Gordon Dove. He is the parish president of Terrebonne Parish. So thanks for being with us, Gordon. And I guess we should start, as we always have for the last 110 days or so, on Hurricane Ida and the recovery that's going on.
Well, the recovery itself is going well, because everyone has electricity who can be hooked up, water, gas, and we presently have between the GoSef trailers and the FEMA, we have about 900 trailers in place and about 750 hooked up and people living in them, and it should be better than that, but it's gotten better. And then TIDA did a wonderful job getting about 28 of them out in place. So between all in all, in place, we about 930, living about 770 that people are living in. And of course, we're pushing, and you do have the tent cities, and you also have some living quarters at these group areas, and on Williams, on Scott Lane, Montague, and Dulac, which is closing if it hasn't been closed yet, and so we seem to have it's getting better. It's FEMA. They're just slow.
Yeah. So now we're in the recovery phase, and we're trying to get most of the people. I know y'all probably hadn't satisfied all of that, but like I say, it is getting better. So the recovery phase now, and I guess it's materials, it's manpower, it's getting people down in position to do those kind of jobs.
Right. The sales tax in October was up 42%, and that tells you people are spending the insurance monies. FEMA has given in Terrebonne Parish $360 million, and part of it is disaster assistance, and then part of it is SBA loans, which is at 1.5% to businesses and households, and that's but the total about $360 million is going out to the citizens of Terrebonne Parish and to help people rebuild their homes. And as you can see, people are getting their shingles redone. Shingle was a big part of the damage. And of course, you had a lot of structural damage, and you had roofs missing, especially down the bayous. And so it's a day-to-day recovery. And I want to say, our Public Works and CFO and Earl Hughes with the EOC and all our department, housing, and our sewage department has really done a good job bringing everything back in. We have constant meetings with them, and my hat's off to all the department heads and administration. It's really coming along. To me, as smoothly as humanly possible.
Right. And so, like I say, it's been a bad thing, but everybody's trying to get some help now. Do we have a assessment damage? Do y'all do that yet? It's like 100% of the homes and businesses were damaged, 90%? Do we know that? Because you walk around, it looks like 100%.
Yeah. No, right now we've got consultants, we've got engineers working on damage assessments. Terrebonne Parish, we carry a lot of insurance. Whatever the insurance doesn't cover, then FEMA steps in. But we have another team that's actually going out after community development block grant money, hazardous mitigation money, and any grants available for Terrebonne Parish, which can be into the hundreds of millions of dollars to help rebuild Terrebonne Parish. Like, what we're looking to do is do an annex to the courthouse, a new jail, and a jail. My hat's off to Craig Weber in LaFouche. He built a jail, but now he did, I think, with a quarter in sales tax. What I'm talking about would be grant money. It wouldn't cost the citizens anything. And this would have, not only did they build a jail, but they built where they have automotive classes, electrical classes, etc., and they teach the prisoners a trade, and the recidivism is way down. Right. So. And that doesn't mean we're going to get money for all these things, but we can ask. I mean, besides rocks on Barry Island and levee work, and I mean, we're gonna ask for quite a bit of money. We've hired a consultants. We got them in place. We got a great team together, which is headed by Candace Malden, my CFO, and we're gonna move forward to really get Terrebonne Parish hundreds of millions of dollars out of this disaster.
Yeah, no, we definitely need it, and that's one of those things. And like I said, if you look around, almost every home has been, had some kind of damage, and businesses and that kind of stuff. So the next part is we talked about insurance with the flood insurance and the rewriting of the FEMA flood insurance with 2.0. That might make a difference around. Are we in danger of losing some of our population?
Well, the 2.0, it depends where you live naturally. Some of them's going, most of it's going to go up from $120 to $200, for the first year, depending where you live. Some will actually go down. Not many areas, but some will go down. So you want to see what it is. But the problem is it can keep escalating the way they wrote it.
Right.
You see, they can go up 18% a year. And, I think they down $21 billion, which is not a lot of money to the federal government. It's a lot of money to me and you.
Right.
And,
we see some of the numbers.
But, so when we had got our FEMA maps in, we went over the entire map by myself, Chris Pulaski, and other people in my organization, in government, and we protested certain areas where people would get hit hard. So we're protesting the areas where people would get hit hard.
I see.
So that doesn't mean they're gonna get hit hard, because we're protesting and we gave them our reasoning for it.
I see. So yeah, that'll all be coming in the beginning of next year. So we'll be looking forward
Yes.
to that. We're almost to 1,000. Aptum came up right at 980 trailers and now been distributed so far. So that's a good milestone as we pass 1,000.
Right. And then with FEMA and with TITA, we well over 1,000 trailers in place, and about 800 that's occupied. So it's getting better and better. I mean, it is ridiculous how long it took, but and like we were just talking on a break, the flip side is FEMA did do a good job in getting grants out.
Right.
Because we opened up the Civic Center, and people coming in, they'd walk them through it. And besides our own personnel walking people through it, and the money you borrow was at 1.5%. It's almost money with and it's a 30-year payback. And then the other monies with grants about 170 million, excuse me, was grants, so you don't pay back.
Right.
So.
No, that's a real good thing. You also said they were opening up temporary pads out of 311 and Highway 90.
Right there behind that
Magnolia,
the
truck stop?
Rebecca truck
Yeah,
stop.
Rebecca. Yeah.
And if you pass there, you'll see the limestones there. They're gonna start moving trailers in there, and people who live in apartments or don't own their own property they were living on, and maybe they lived in a rental house that was damaged, but they don't own it in the land. The one who owns it may not want to put one or whatever, but this is gonna be a little community out there.
All right.
The property already has sewage and water, and it was a commercial development that never took off. And so it's really a good place. And right now they're setting up with GOSEF, and then FEMA is supposed to be setting up another camp in that same subdivision.
Oh yeah, so that'd be a good area, real convenient to be able to drive wherever you got to go. Coming up this week, the new budget. We had talked to Jerome Durang about the state budget that's going on, but each individual parish has a budget, and you're coming in about $240 million?
$239.7 million is the budget, and we're about $9.8 million in the general account, which is actually a little better than normal. And we've got everything set for next year. Our bond rating is AA+. So we've got a great bond rating. With having gone through 6-7 hurricanes and storms last year, Hurricane Barry the year before, Ida this year, and then COVID for what's COVID been, a year, 7 months?
At least, yeah.
And so Terrebonne's really, knock on wood, fared well, and the people have stayed here in Terrebonne Parish, and it's the people are resilient, and we just keep moving forward.
Do you think in the low-lying areas, we're talking to, you know, TITA and those groups, and sometimes hey, let's bring, you know, business, let's bring industry in here. Obviously, we want to bring jobs, but do we have the manpower, and are we going to keep people in the parish, or are we going to see people migrate out that might have lost stuff?
No, I think you'll see people stay in the parish. You may see a few people from the Bayou community move north. You may see that in Lafourche Parish, and I don't, you know, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of rebuilding, which I'm glad, you know, and it hinged so much on if people rebuild, can they afford flood insurance, and to let the public know we are working diligently with everyone involved. We, you know, that trying to keep this flood insurance. And look, I've been in touch with Steve Scalise, Garrett Graves, Senator Cassidy, and Kennedy, and they all working diligently to try to do something with this flood insurance issue. And that's probably our biggest hurdle. I mean, you know, it's proved Morganza has protected us time after time. For Hurricane Ida, we had a 10 to 20 inch rain, so, you know, with 30 pump stations we've added or that's under construction, no one flooded. So, I mean, our pumping system in Terrebonne is more than adequate. And I mean, you know, we were, 8 months ago we had 18 inches of rain and we did okay. Right. And so, you know, we're in good shape all the way around. We just need this flood insurance to be reasonable.
Right, because I mean, that could affect all of us, our equity in our homes. If the home prices go down, so you go to sell a house and then they can't afford flood insurance, that affects everybody when that happens. So yeah, that's always a big point.
Now, you know, something else is the money we're applying for is going to be to lift homes. You know, a lot of homes in Terrebonne have been lifted, and we're going to have more money coming in to lift homes and for low-income homes. And right now, we just signed a deal with to buy 16. Well, we do it through Options for Independence. We give them the money, they buy them, they build these low-income homes over there off East Street in Parkwood subdivision. You know, so we're actually going to build out of 16, 15 homes. Right there should become available to the public, and you know, it's low income,
affordable housing, right?
Affordable housing, and so, you know, we make a big push on housing, you know, and hopefully the cost of material come down, because with the supply problem in the United States, everything's high right now.
Sure, and then you know, unfortunately, those folks with the tornado, that's going to be rebuilding there too. So we're going to be all competing for supplies, and now, you know, just a never-ending deal. I think.
And God bless them, and my heart goes out with them. You know, they got hit quick, and you know, one thing about a hurricane, we know a few days ahead of time. So if you want to stay, you stay. Right. But if you leave, you have a chance to leave with a hurricane.
Right.
It's not going to surprise you.
Those
you know?
Tornadoes are nothing to be messed with.
No, they're
bad.
Obviously
those pictures
are
bad.
They're bad.
All right, Gordon. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming by.
And thank you as always.
Yeah, you're right. That'll do it for this edition of Bayou Time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.